Hello everyone and welcome to The Sincere Lifestyle. Today I'm going to teach you how to do sushi. And so this recipe, all of the details are going to be in the description box below. Number one thing, we're going to start with a head of cauliflower. So this is going to be our cauliflower rice instead of the traditional sushi rice. I love this because it's easier to digest, and this is something that actually tastes really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by separating the cauliflower. I have a little bowl here, and I'm just going to, sometimes it's easier to use a knife. Personally, I like that, but I'm just going to separate this green part and then also separate the cauliflower heads and put it in here. So the next step is to put it in the food processor, and we're going to use the crush setting so it can look a little bit like rice. You don't have to do it too much because we want it to look like the same size as a rice. Okay. Now all of my cauliflower didn't fit in there. I usually do this in 2 rounds. And then put the power button on. See, that's all it took. It really looks ricey. Might be different for your food processor, but yeah, that's all. This looks pretty grainy. I might just give it a little more actually. Let's do that. Now that looks like the size of rice. So I am going to put this in a pan that I have prepared there. And then I'm going to do this one more time just so we can get all of this done. So here's a cauliflower rice, and it's about the size of a rice grain. So what we're going to do now is put this on medium high. There we go. And I'm just going to put a little bit of, maybe a capful of olive oil for now. There we go. Put that right in. And so the whole purpose of this is just to cook it slightly. Oh, so that's like a capful and a half. Cook it slightly so it can have the consistency of rice. And I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic powder, maybe a few of these, a few shakes, and then a few shakes of black pepper. Doesn't have to be precise, just to your taste. And I'm just gonna, do a little mixy until it gets soft, where it's firm rice. You don't want to cook it so soggy. So it's been 5 minutes and the cauliflower is done. The way you know is that when I first put it in here, it was bright white. Right now, they're all pretty much this deep ivory color. And they actually softened a bit in terms of the shape. And so I'm going to turn this off because I do not want this to get smushy. So that was a full 5 minutes on medium to high and constantly mixing it. And now it's basically done. So we're going to do a close-up so you can see how this looks. So now we're going to put it in a bowl to cool. It's important to use cool rice, or room temperature rice, and not hot rice when you're rolling sushi. Alright guys, so I waited about 30 minutes for the cauliflower rice to cool. And so I'm using this organic seaweed, and I am going to include the link to this and all the other ingredients in the description box below. I'm also using dry salmon. What's this exactly called? It's called cold smoked sockeye salmon. So I'm going to include a link to all of these goodies. I'm putting avocado in there as well. Some people like to put cream cheese. You can make a classic like Philadelphia sushi. I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't do that, and it tastes just as good without that. Some people like to put cucumber, so you can make this your own. It's all what works for you. And so now let's take this roasted seaweed out of the package. This usually comes in like packs of 10 or whatever, so I'll include a link to what I'm using. Okay, so usually I feel it a little bit. You'll see there's like perforation on it sometimes. I like, because I'm rolling it this way, I'll put it in the way that it's packaged to roll. Also, I got this from Amazon, super cheap, the sushi roller, and I'll include a link to that. It was just like the best thing ever because it actually helps the rolling process, you know? So what I like to do is get a little bit of water and a brush and just brush the seaweed because it's a little brittle. So just put a little bit of water on here with a brush, not too much. And then I'll do the other side too, just a little bit. Okay. So the first step is to put the cooled down cauliflower rice and make sure you're just patting it down and not smushing it so it doesn't break the seaweed. And so what I like to do is I usually like leave some space here. I find that, oopsies, I find that it makes it easier to, for the roll to basically not unravel. Some people do it all the way to the end, but that is not what I do. It makes it easier for me just to like stop it. This is about 1.5 inches. So it's pretty much covered here. And so the next step is to line up your ingredients. So I have half of an avocado here. Usually just slice it like that, it's so much easier. And I slice it here with a butter knife, not to hurt yourself. And then just pop it down in there. Yeah, so I usually use half of a half avocado. So what is that, 1/4 of an avocado per sushi? So there we go. Make sure you wash your hands because this gets really handsy, as you can tell. Okay, and then I'm gonna get some of the smoked salmon. Ooh, okay. Little piece here. So I like to also do that in a row. I think I can do a little more. I love salmon, so. If you had another ingredient, you would put another row here. Since this is all we're doing, I like to put like a lot of avocado and salmon there. And now it's time to roll. So I have the top where I did it to the very edge in terms of where I lay the rice here at the very edge of this bamboo roller. And so I am going to just moisten the end of this so it's easier to stick once I roll it, since this will be like sealing it closed. Okay, so the trick with this is to just go for it and really like just smush it. So I try to smush it tightly, not smush it too hard, but a little bit firmly everywhere as I go on. Because if you just do the middle, the end will be very like loosey-goosey. So just making sure you like smooth it like that, you know, like so. It's very handsy, like I said. And I just roll back the sushi roller as I go along. Try to make sure the ends, a little water there, moisten that. Go. Alrighty then. And then with that, I kind of like roll it extra just so we can like smush closed. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Oh, they're coming out a bit at the ends, and that's okay. And so we're gonna move this to the side. Now we're gonna cut the sushi. The trick is to get your sharpest knife, and be super careful to get your sharpest knife. And if it's not super sharp, you can always sharpen it. I'll include a link to one of the sharpeners that we use in the description box. So, all right, so now we're gonna cut the sushi. And like, the ends are always weird, where they pop out a bit like that. You know what? I'm just gonna get a better knife. So this is an example of what happens when you don't have a sharp knife. This is still good to eat. Tastes good. Okay. See how much better that is with a sharper knife? Sometimes you gotta like go like this at the end to get that last bit of seaweed cut. And I'm cutting this about 1 inch wide. How cute is that? Thanks so much for joining me on this journey of sushi. Let me know what you decided to do and what you decided to put in here. So this is about how much one roll makes, and I ate one, so it's missing one. But you know, comment below, let me know how this went for you. I would love to know. Thanks so much for joining me, and I can't wait to show you more recipes. So stay tuned for next time.
Hit the subscribe button and press like on the video. See you next time.